Marine to be decorated, retired, and all colors present. Aye, sir. Detail, present, arms.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you. Please be seated. Department of the Navy. This is to certify that the Secretary of the Navy has awarded the Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medal to Gunnery Sergeant Victor N. Fernandez, Jr., United States Marine Corps, for meritorious service while serving as Avionics Staff Non-Commissioned Officer in Charge, Lateral Duty Quality Assurance Representative, Multi-System Quality Assurance Representative, and Safer Flight Maintenance Controller, Marine Medium Subshelter Training Squadron 162, Marine Corps, and Marine Medium Subshelter Training Squadron 204, Marine Aircraft Group 26, 2nd Marine Aircraft Wing from July 2016 to June 2023. Gunnery Sergeant Fernandez achievements enhanced operations and maintenance capabilities, improved the capacity for mission readiness. His efforts enabled the squadrons to conduct 10,150 flight hours combined in support of training, multiple exercises, and the 24th and 26th Marine Expeditionary Units. Gunnery Sergeant Fernandez experience and technical expertise provided invaluable insight for the MV-22 Bravo avionics initial training and readiness issues on avionics managed systems throughout the fleet, and superior performance of duty during his tour highlights the culmination of 20 years of honorable and dedicated service. Gunnery Sergeant Fernandez's bold leadership, wise judgment, and complete dedication to duty reflected credit on him and were in keeping with the highest traditions of the Marine Corps in the United States Naval Service. Given this 23rd day of June 2023, signed D.C. Sanders, Colonel, United States Marine Corps, Commanding Officer, Marine Aircraft Group 26, Fleet Marine Corps. United States Marine Corps. Gunnery Sergeant Victor N. Fernandez, Jr. was transferred this date from the U.S. Marine Corps to the Fleet Marine Corps Reserve after 20 years of honorable and faithful active service. Given this first day of October 2023, signed David H. Byrd, Commandant of the Marine Corps. Certificate of Appreciation. For service in the Armed Forces of the United States of America, Gunnery Sergeant Victor N. Fernandez, Jr., United States Marine Corps. I extend my personal gratitude and the sincere appreciation of a grateful nation to you for your patriotic service to our country. Your bravery and dedication in the armed forces helped protect your fellow Americans during a critical moment in our history and contributed to a world of greater security and growing prosperity. Your devotion to duty, honor, and country, in keeping with the long traditions of the finest military in the world, embodied the American ideal of selfless service. Our nation owes you an incredible debt. Your commitment and the example you set will inspire future generations to serve with pride and to keep our country secure. You represent the best of the nation, and I join our fellow Americans in saluting your honorable service. I wish you happiness and success in your next chapter, Commander-in-Chief.
Detail. Okay. Rest.
Dear Gunnery Sergeant Fernandez, the Marine Corps has been your occupation and family for many years past, and I am certain the memories, interests, and the future of the Corps will remain with you forever. Many desire to attain your accomplished goals, but few can compare to you. You have clearly demonstrated the exceptional leadership qualities and professional contributions we seek of our senior Marines. We are proud, as you must be, of your successful career. As a teacher to young Marines, a source of wise counsel, and as an example of those soldierly virtues we so admire, you have made a mark on the Corps that will remain long after you have left our active ranks. There are many young Marines you have influenced who carry on the same fine tradition that has always characterized the United States Marine Corps. You have my best wishes for good health and continued success in the years ahead. Semper Fidelis, David H. Berger, General, United States Marine Corps, Commandant of the Marine Corps. Dear Gunnery Sergeant Fernandez, on the occasion of your retirement, I would like to extend my congratulations and heartfelt thanks for your many years of dedicated service and selfless devotion to our country and Corps. You have made tremendous contribution and sacrifices throughout your Marine Corps career. As you prepare to enter this new chapter of life, you can look back with your immense pride and satisfaction on all you have accomplished. You have set an example of professionalism and lead a standard of excellence for all Marines who will carry on the legacy of our Corps. My wife Stacey joins me in wishing you continued success in the future. Semper Fidelis, Troy E. Black, 19th Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps. Now being escorted by Gunnery Sergeant Denenfelser is Mrs. Jana A. Fernandez. United States Marine Corps Certificate of Appreciation, presented to Jana A. Fernandez on the occasion of the retirement of your spouse. Your unfailing support and understanding helps make possible your spouse's decision to make the United States Marine Corps a career. You have earned the Corps' grateful appreciation for your unselfish, faithful, and devoted sacrifice. Given under my hand this 30th day of September 2023, signed J.T. Harris, Lieutenant Colonel, United States Marine Corps, Commanding Officer. Ladies and gentlemen, retired Captain Lopez.
How are we all doing? Good. Lieutenant Colonel Harris, Marine sailors, family, friends, thank you for being here. So I met Gunnery Sergeant Fernandez PCS season of 2011, checking into BMM 161. And I had just got back from a deployment from a squadron that had deployed with BMQ2 here at Cherry Point. So I check in, get a couple scribbles on my checkout sheet. I go to maintenance control to meet the AMO, and I see this good-looking, kind of quiet, young staff sergeant just sitting there behind the desk, doing something. So I introduced myself. He introduced himself. I was like, "Oh, what's going on, staff sergeant?" "Oh, I'm safe in the book, sir." I was like, "I'm not coming in, MCO. Pleasure to meet you." I go in, check in with the AMO, get the speech from the AMO, and after that, I realized, like, this is going to be another tough assignment. This is going to be somewhat stressful. We're geared up to deploy, going to Afghanistan again, or I'm going to Afghanistan again. This is going to be challenging. So I walk out, I take a look at Gunny Fernandez, and 3 words just pop into my head. Cool, calm, collected. Who knows him? Has anybody ever seen him get mad, yell, throw anything? Sometimes I wish he would, but cool, calm, collected. I was like, all right, well, at least I got one controller that I know can keep it together. So we do our workups. Some of it was fun, some of it was stressful. We get out to Bastion in Afghanistan. We turn over with, I'm not going to say who it was, but all I'm going to say is the squadron that was leaving left those aircraft like they were rental cars. So had a lot of work. There was a lot to do to get him to the 161 standard, right? So we got it all done. We started doing our missions. And then September 14th, 2012 rolls up. So I'm not going to get into too much detail about that. If you don't know about that date, look it up and you can get all the detail you need. But I will say this, a cadre, actually more than a cadre of enemy combatants infiltrated the base. Some went left, or some went right, some went forward, and some went left. I'm not going to talk about what happened with the ones that went right. The ones that went forward blew up the fuel bag. Remember that, Victor? 100-foot wall of flame just blazing, lit up everything. The ones that went left ran into BMM 161. They got engaged. We stopped them. We actually captured one of them. And when the dust settled, they were able to knock out, what was it, like 9 of our aircraft, something like that? We only had 3 aircraft left out of the 12 we had. Lots of stress, right? A new kind of stress. Add fear to that. But there's Staff Sergeant, or Gunnery Sergeant Fernandez, cool, calm, and collected. And I remember being stressed out, scared myself. I had this little ritual I would do every day when I come to work. I would take my M4, go to condition 1, and clear every aircraft because for me, I needed to be like, all right, if Marines are gonna fly these things, at least I'm gonna go and make sure they're safe. Like, no kidding safe. But again, days that I was stressed out, ready to break down, all I had to do was hang out with Gunnery Sergeant Fernandez, cool, calm, and collected. And I know he was probably had the same fears and things that I did. But what he did do is he didn't fall apart, he didn't break down. He had this courage about him that kept him going and in part kept me going. So we get through our deployment, we get home, it's time for me to leave, right? And all the while, cool, calm, and collected. We had a CNAP inspection. I failed a huge part of mine. I don't know how I made it out alive, but I went on to check it with the HAA 303, and Gunnery Sergeant Fernandez continued his career and all that. So there were days when I would reflect back on that deployment, BMM 161, and when I would think about Gunnery Sergeant Fernandez, I always wondered what made him so cool, calm, and collected. Like, why did I never see him yell or throw something or any of that? The only thing I ever seen from this guy was maybe minor irritation whenever I wanted to capitalize parts of the face bird, or I was trading parts with our sister squadron. He might have got a little mad at me. But he was always cool, calm, and collected. I always wondered why. For years I wondered why. And I finally got an answer to that question, but I called him like a couple weeks ago, and I said, hey man, I'm gonna be writing your speech, putting it together. Like, why did you join the Marine Corps? And I assumed he was gonna say, I joined the Marine Corps to get away from gang violence, or a life of drugs, or something crazy like that. Because that's kind of why I joined the Marine Corps in 1994. Where I grew up, it was pretty bad. So one of the main reasons why I got out of there was to get away from that stuff. Gunnery Sergeant Fernandez told me, he's like, no sir. He's like, I joined because I felt compelled to join after 9/11 happened. He's like, I felt this overwhelming sense of duty, and I knew my calling was to enlist, join the military, and get out there and do my part. And that's the answer, from my perspective, that's what I'm going to take away from that conversation. On why this Marine, this man, this father, this friend stayed cool, calm, and collected. He had an unwavering, faithful sense of duty. And he continued to have that unwavering, faithful sense of duty. And here he is now. He did his time, he did his part, sitting there cool, calm, and collected, with that half-baked smile that he always has. We all seen it. Not mad, not getting mad, not throwing things, none of that stuff. Victor, I think you're going to do great things. I'm not even going to wish you the best because I know you're going to do the best. For your family, for your people, your children, you're going to be all right, brother. Cool, calm, and collected. Thank you for setting an example to the Marines that led you to the Marines that were your peers, your left and your right, and the Marines that followed you. Thank you for all you've done. This is an honor for me. I appreciate you. And I haven't been retired 4 years. I appreciate you asking me to do this. And I need to shut it out because I'm about to start crying. So, thank you. I'm going to leave you with one question. I'm going to ask you one question, the same question he asked me in 2013 when I left BMM 161. So now that you're retired, do you think you're bad or what? Thank you.
Now that you're retired,
Ladies and gentlemen, Gunnery Sergeant Fernandez.
Sorry. All right. So first, Staff Sergeant McGee, thank you for putting this together, and thank you to the Marines for being a part of it. Looks great. To all the officers, enlisted, friends, and family here, thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to be here for me. I stand before you humbled, knowing that this event was worthy of your time. I want to honor a few people in my life who have shaped me into the person I am today, beginning with my wife. I love you so much. Before I met you, I was wandering the earth broken in so many ways. There was a long period of darkness, and today you brought your light into my life. I believe the universe brought us together right when I needed you. With you by my side, I was able to find joy in my job and living, and make a strong finish to the end of my career. I couldn't have asked for a better life partner, and I'm looking forward to the next chapter together. Thank you for your consistent support, and I also want to congratulate you on reaching your USMC date, which is today. So thank you for your service, and I love you. My mom, you are the kindest person in the world. The never-ending love and support you pour into me every single day is what has kept me going through my life and my career. You taught me to be kind to people and to have patience. You taught me to say please and thank you. You were always there to talk to me when I was lonely, and there was a lot of loneliness throughout my career. No matter what it was, you dropped whatever you were doing and found a way to help me. I want you to know that I have led my Marines with the same love and patience that was poured through you. Thank you for doing everything in your power to ensure that I accomplished my goals. I couldn't have asked for a more loving, caring, and supportive member in my life. To my dad, you always encouraged me to challenge myself and to never accept failure. You have always done your best to provide for your family. You have made a lot of sacrifices to make sure we had a good life. When I was a kid, I remember you spending long hours at work, and I remember missing you, and I wanted to spend more time with you. Don't get mad, but I used to put nails under your tires of your truck so that you wouldn't go to work. I thought that if you couldn't drive, you would just stay home. And I look back at those feelings of wanting to spend more time with you, and I can only think that Avery and Abby are probably thinking the same as me today. And I don't want them to put nails in my tires. I made the short-term sacrifice to reach the 20 so that I could have a lifetime of benefits, so I could be a better family man. So Pop, thank you for all of your support and showing me that what hard work for your family is, and it should be top of mind, so I love you too.
Love you too.
My siblings, I'm sorry I wasn't physically there for you guys as you grew up into your teens, into your adulthood. I watched and kept touch from afar. Know that I'm proud of you guys for the people that you have become, and I hope I was a good role model for you over the years, and I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys more. Thank you for being great aunts and uncle to the girls. Captain Lopez, you know, as a Marine, we're always put into leadership roles. Our bosses expect a lot of us, and in many cases, the trust may not always be there. That was never the case with you being my boss. When we worked together, you put me as your lead maintenance controller and you let me do my thing. I had never experienced that level of trust up to that point. So thank you for your guidance and your leadership in teaching me to trust my Marines. As a result, we had our great combat tour together, and I applied that same approach with my Marines from that point on. So thank you for being here to be my retiring officer. Thank you. Master Sergeant James Vogel, you were my buddy when I was a sergeant. Well, from Lance Corporal to sergeant. You taught me to always lead, or you showed me to always lead from the front. You as our gunny would still grab a toolbox, be the first to volunteer for the toughest jobs of the day. We would have to fight you for those jobs. But thanks for setting a good example and showing me how a good gunny should perform. Because of your example, I led my Marines the same way that you guys should have done. Thank you. Master Sergeant Tanya right here. Coming here from Arkansas, so thank you. You were my Master Sergeant on recruiting duty, and that was by far the toughest 3 years of my career. I didn't help myself because I did everything you told me not to do from the beginning. You told me to not get married, don't get a dog, don't have kids, and I got multiple each one of those. I did all of that and still somehow make things work, and it's because of your guidance. You saw something in me so much as to put me as your number 2 in charge of the station. So thank you for believing in me. Thank you for teaching me that no matter how hard the job may be, and no matter how difficult life may seem, do not cut corners. You helped me learn the importance of integrity, self-discipline, and maintaining positive relationships with people. So thank you for being there for me even after you retired, and thank you for being here today. I just want to conclude. I want everyone to know that it was an honor serving with you guys. And I couldn't have done it without you guys. I will continue to seek self-improvement and know that being a Marine has only made me a stronger individual. I don't know what the future holds for me, but I'm most looking forward to being the best family man that I could be, the best husband, the best father, son, and I love you all. And Avery and Abby, I'll be home soon. Semper Fidelis, everyone. Thanks for sharing this day with me.
Ladies and gentlemen, flowers are now being delivered to Gunnery Sergeant Fernandez's wife in recognition of her dedication and support to Gunnery Sergeant Fernandez and the Marine Corps family. Flowers are a symbolic recognition of the vital and loving support that our families provide to our Marines.
Detail. Attention. Puff the colors.
Please stand for the plane of anchors away and the Marine hymn. Please be seated.
So this concludes tonight's ceremony.
Take charge, carry out the pledge of allegiance.
Aye, aye, sir. Take charge, carry out the pledge of allegiance.
I stand, sir.
Please remain seated as the watch is conducted.
For 20 years, this Marine has stood the watch. While many of us lay about our bunks at night, this Marine stood the watch. While others of us were attending schools, this Marine stood the watch. And yes, even before many of us were born, this Marine stood the watch. As our families watched the storm clouds of war brewing on the horizons of history, this Marine stood the watch. This Marine looked ashore and saw his family often needing guidance, but knew that he must stay because he had the watch. For 20 years, this Marine stood watch so that our fellow countrymen could sleep soundly in safety, knowing that this Marine would stand the watch. Today we are here to say, the watch stands relieved. Relieved by those you have led, guided, and trained. GySgt Fernandez, you stand relieved. We have the watch.
On behalf of BMMT 204 and Avionics, with the thanks of Master me putting this all together, I'd like to present this gift to Gunner Sergeant Victor Addis M. Fernandez Jr. for your dedicated, faithful service to the United States Marine Corps and our nation from September 2003 to September 2023. Your motivation, spirit of humor, optimism, and positive attitude will be greatly missed. Simplified Ellis. I want to say thank you. Although you've been here for a short time, we appreciate all your leadership and your wisdom and helping me grow as a gunner as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes today's ceremony. Please join Mr. Fernandez